how did you really get on? Because hip hop was still kind of early, but there was still a lot of people rapping, trying to get on. And what was like your first big break?
I don't know what the first big break, because what you consider big break is. Me, I've been rapping and running through New York streets doing what I love since I was 13. And, I was going to the Roxy. I was doing house parties. I was doing block parties. I was running around with the Fearless Four. They were already established. I was running around with Special K from the Treacherous Three and his big brother Tila Rock, Rockmaster Scott and the Dynamic Three. This is the beginning era of human beatboxing, because that's how I came in the door as the human beatbox. And it was a few of them. You could count them on one hand. And I was winning all of the contests, like at the original Disco Fever, where they shot the Crush Groove movie. They used to have this show there called The Gong Show on every Wednesday. And I went in there and I won it maybe 2 times, because this whole beatbox thing was just so brand new and so fresh. And I was at every block party, whether it's in the Bronx, whether it's Harlem, whether it's Brooklyn. That's when you were like a real New Yorker. You get on the subway and you go everywhere. That changed today, but it was a great time. And from there, I was meeting everybody, and a lot of my peers, we went to school together. I went to high school with Kool Keith, Dr. Shock from the Force MCs, all of us. We all grew up in that era. So, everybody was around just trying to do it.
Beatboxing has always been kind of an integral part of hip hop, but it never really got big. It never got mainstream, kind of like how some of the other, parts of hip hop, became. Graffiti writers ended up having their day in the sun, and of course hip hop, rap did what it did. You still see international breakdancing competitions everywhere, but beatboxing has sort of been kind of like a stepchild.
I hear it's doing big things, because people always coming up to me, yo, you wasn't at the International Beatbox Contest, and I'm like, the International Beatbox Contest? I just left Japan recently, and they had a big thing going on over there, They had a big thing going on in Dubai. I mean, people love it. When you go on the internet, you see it everywhere. I was like, wow, they took this to a whole nother level. I was fortunate enough to be able to do that and do what I do and perform. I came from that time and era, and I was blessed to be able to do these things. But, if you come to a nice and smooth show or a Greg Nice show, you'll see all of that in one.
Sure. Now, I remember Dougie Fresh was like the first human beatboxer that I saw. This was in, what movie was it? Beat Street.
Yes.
Right. I remember Dougie Fresh was beatboxing during like this like skit that they did.
Yes.
Now, were you and Dougie Fresh both kind of like in the beatbox circuit at the time?
Yeah, more or less, yes. Yes, more or less, yes. I met Doug mid-early 80s kind of. I met him at OC and Crazy Eddie's crib from the Fearless Four. Mm-hmm. And they seen me rock at a party. They was like, Shorty's ill. Shorty's ill. So the word got around, and they told Doug about me and things like that. And then he came over the crib one night when I was there. And we bonded forever. Ever since then, we bonded. That's my brother. I love him to death.
Now, can you give us an example of beatboxing? Dope. Dope. Now, what's really the secret to being a dope beatboxer?
I don't know if it's a secret, because everybody have their own thing to them. Like when I came, it was about the snares and the kicks and being able to have like a filtered bass line or something with it, or playing something that people were familiar with, whatever the record was out at that time in the street, being able to emulate that. And I come from that cloth. I mean, you got other people that's just like crazy with effects and different things that expanded. I mean, I look at some kids today, I go, wow, this is amazing, But that's what I come from.